Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle and this is a word of caution regarding watching pick a card love readings. So while there is nothing inherently wrong with wanting to know where you stand with the love interest on your mind, the reason why you're wanting to know where you stand with them matters greatly, as it can greatly impact your mental and emotional well-being. So a very good question to ask yourself when it comes to why you're watching pick a card love readings is, am I simply curious or am I actually clinging? Holding on to hope isn't always a good thing, especially if it's keeping you stuck in limerence or in codependence. The last thing I want to do is to enable limerence and codependence with the content that I create. I want to help you create a life in which you're truly thriving, not keep you stuck in survival mode. And I know how it all works because I've been there. So this is where grace, knowledge, understanding, and compassion come in. It's okay if the only way you're able to self-soothe in this moment is by way of participating in coping mechanisms, distractions, and the like. As long as you're also doing yourself a favor by learning how to heal the wounding that has been fueling any limerence and or codependent patterns that you might have. My promise to you is that as you heal the wounding, your dependency on your SP, which means specific person, aka the person on your mind, or your ex, will begin to dissolve naturally, to the point where you're not even curious about what they're thinking and how they're feeling about you anymore. I know this to be true from personal experience. When you're ready to start healing the wounding, I have some amazing resources to get you going. My personal recommendation is to start with 2 videos, how to stop manifesting separation, and then the other one is called Releasing the Wants. Both videos will be linked in the description box below. My heart is always with you guys, and with that I bid you more happy viewing. Love, Michelle. Hi Pile 1, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Michelle. We are doing a pick a card love reading. We're tapping in and channeling through who you are to your person, where do you stand with them, and what do they want from you and from the connection. This is becoming one of my more popular readings, and I actually enjoy doing this reading. So tap in, you guys, okay? Just keep in mind it's a general reading, so whatever resonates, take it, run with it. If something isn't resonating, just drop it, leave it behind for the people it is resonating for. I do have personal readings available if you would like for me to tap exclusively into you and your person's connection. All the booking details can be found in the description box below. I have a lot of readings available in the specific person category. Many of them are just $25, and I actually added more $25 readings. So go see which ones most fit your guys' wants, needs, and desires when it comes to your connection with your person, okay? So let's see. You guys were drawn to the pink tourmaline in quartz. This wants to be over here for some reason. We'll see what's going on. Aw, so this is who you are to your person. The overall energy of who you are to them. So we have the heart here with the 11th house. So let's see, ruled by the sign Uranus, we have the ruling sign of Aquarius. This says society, social justice, charity groups, memberships, humanitarian, futuristic. I'm hearing shared vision. You guys have some kind of like who you are to your person. You guys have like a shared vision, maybe even like a shared mission with your person. You guys may have a lot in common. You guys could actually be like, yeah, this might be a romantic interest of yours, but it could also, this person could just see you as like a really good friend, right? Somebody they can, you know, not just Netflix and chill with, but actually like go hang out with and have a good time. Let me see what heart has to say. Okay, the heart says it is possible from an imaginal point of view to sense the heart as a place. Either we are there within the realm of expansion and compassion, or we have drifted somewhere else. There is no in between. It is common for us to leave this archetypal center without realizing it, as the world with its seductive twists and turns, offers us frequent departure. We may even become a stranger to the landscape of the heart, leaving it vacant for long stretches of time. The seat of the heart is often reclaimed by nature, music, dance, and the presence of children or animals. I'm hearing this person say who you are to them. They see you as somebody that shines in the spotlight, or they just may see you as somebody who naturally kind of commands the spotlight. Let's see, the card says, this card encourages us to move past the layers of life's tangles and knots and enter the wild and sacred center of the self. The most precious throne in the galaxy is awaiting your return. So when in the functional aspect, this says expansive, knowing, gentle clarity. In the shadow, it talks about tangled, betrayal, fraught. Okay. So with the energies combined of the 11th house and the heart, who you are to this person, you represent some kind of an emotional truth for them. You are a place that they can come to experience some kind of like expansive love and compassion. And, you know, if I'm hearing home base, like your person kind of sees you in this connection as home base. It's a place that they return to when they're ready to feel real again. Or there's something here about authenticity, like you're authentic and you're genuine and you're sincere. Especially in the public, like, you know, and your person is really highlighting that because as far as your person is concerned, they may have witnessed a lot of people, like who they are in private is completely different than who they are in the public. And with your person, they're seeing you the same, that you're the same in private and you're the same in front of other people. And there's something about your authenticity that really soothes your person. Okay. They may see you as a center. They could see you as somebody that's very grounding for them, somebody that's very centering for them. You know, and you could be somebody that they tend to maybe drift away from, but there is, you know, again, there's an essence here of you being home base to your person. And so, you know, there might be a point where they drift away too far and then they feel called to return back to you into this connection. They may see you as an anchor. Like when life gets really tangled or confusing or chaotic, you symbolize clarity of what really matters, okay? I'm hearing rock. They see you like as the rock of Gibraltar, but really just something that's steadfast, predictable, reliable. Not predictable in a way that's like, you know, like they know, like when your heart is in it, when you are invested in something and someone in a connection, like you're not going anywhere. You're in that connection to stay, right? So with the 11th house here, the connection with your person, it's not just romantic. There's something, your person might be feeling like there's something about you in this connection that's part of a larger path or a larger mission. So who you are, you're somebody that, yes, you're very authentic, but you also hold your highest ideals. You don't, it's something, authenticity is coming through very clearly about who you are to your person. There's something very comforting when they see you being authentic and true to yourself and holding your highest ideals. You guys could share some similar dreams. Maybe some similar spiritual or humanitarian views or missions. They see you as a source of emotional truth and forward vision. It's like you are who your person comes to, and when they feel like they need or they want to make some kind of forward moving progress, not just in this connection, but in life in general. Your person is connecting you with some kind of a mission or a goal in their life, and they're seeing you as the person that helps to kind of get that off the ground. Okay, your person is, it's very hard for your person to imagine being able to make forward moving progress in their life without you being a part of it, right? They're equating you in this connection with forward moving progress in their life. And so the bond that you two have could include some kind of a community or a group element. It could be that you guys are friends first, or you feel like you're part of a soul tribe. You guys could be connected to some kind of a common, like maybe an activist group, or it may just feel like you guys are both meant to serve something bigger than just yourselves through your guys' connection, right? So, you know, you're the emotional center of your person's highest hopes. You're like their visionary partner. There's some kind of a sacred magnetism here where, you know, you in this connection represents both like a really deep love and future evolution. So, you know, this isn't just chemistry, okay? You are the one who makes your person feel and believe, okay? And to your person, they've recognized that that's rare. There's something in this connection that feels very rare to your person. If your person has drifted away, it could be because your person might be feeling very overwhelmed by how much this connection pulls them into, you know, opening up, being vulnerable. And there could be something about your person's mission and or vision that scares them. So they, you know, if they're running away, that's what they're running away from. You know, this, you and this connection, or whether it's directly or indirectly, you're, you know, is asking your person to open up their heart and dream bigger. And there's some people where that could kick their nervous system or their survival instincts into overdrive. So that could be happening, you know, if you're not connected with your person. You know, if your person isn't ready to open their heart and dream bigger, you know, they might be distancing themselves, but, you know, you remain home base to your person. You're the one that they return to, okay? Especially when they feel like things in life just seem to get too cold. There's something coming through about, you know, people being fake and you're not. And they find comfort in that, okay? Let's find out what they want. Or where do you stand? Let's find out where you currently stand with your person. Where does pile 1 currently stand with their person? Okay, learning lessons, karmic relationship. We'll see what else comes out. You might be triggering your person, teaching them some very important lessons that maybe, I'm hearing tough pill to swallow, that jagged little pill, right? And so yes, they're learning lessons from you and from this connection, and some of those lessons have been very difficult for your person to swallow. They may have had several come to Jesus moments. There's soulmates, yeah. So I mean, this is, yeah, it can take on karmic, it can be both. It can take on both karmic dynamics and soulmate dynamics. At the heart of this connection, though, it's very soulmatey, right? Very soulmatey. But you are also kind of, and it could be mostly through modeling. You know, you are showing your person how to be able to go throughout life and to live life true to yourself, right? Not compromising your own morals, values, beliefs, things of that nature, you know, just to keep the peace. It's like you're showing this person, maybe maybe you're showing this person how to become their own emotional center and their own home base, right? How, because, you know, things like this can kind of borderline on being codependent on somebody else's energy, and there's nothing wrong, right? Connection is part of why we're here. But it can be one of those things where it's like, you know, you're home base to yourself. That's why you're able to be home base to other people, or why they want to attach to you, because you are so grounded. But what they're not understanding is that started with you being grounded within yourself first, right? And so that could be part of why the two of you have connected. You're serving as a teacher to your person, how to do this themselves, how to be their own home base, and then they can share their home base with you, right? Because I am picking up an energy here where your person might be a bit flighty. They may not have been the most reliable, possibly, to you into this connection. But that does feel like that's part of what they're learning. Let's get one more. Look at all this pink. Even with the heart, and then the crystal was intuitive. I didn't see that card before I flipped it over, and pink tourmaline and quartz was wanting to go along with that, with that card. And so something definitely about you guys being connected. This is a true bond. You guys are truly connected at the heart space. Okay, now, not to say that someone's wounding or their ego may not be getting in the way, but there truly is a connection between the two of you. You guys are bonded at the heart space, so it's not just ego, right? Your person may have some moments where they allow their wounding to get in the way, but this is, they always return to the heart space when it comes to you into this connection. Give me one more for where pile 1 stands with their person. Your person is definitely feeling like hold on, your person is feeling like they are free to be themselves when they're with you, right? And that may be, to your person, a very rare experience. They may not feel like they have the freedom to be who they really are just in the world in general. And that's part of what they're needing to learn, right? So the last card that came out is healthy choices. Where you stand with your person. Your person does see you in this connection as healthy, as fulfilling, as nurturing, okay? I've never had this come through, but your person almost sees you in this connection as like self-care for them. There is something very healing in this connection and in your presence and in your energy that your person returns to. I'm almost feeling like a fountain of youth and vitality. When they may stray too far out from this connection from time to time, but when they get that sense of like, okay, I'm running on empty, I need to go back home and get a taste of what it's like again, to feel loved just for being who I am, being really cared for, nurtured, and valued. Your person feels very valued, and that may not be an experience that they have out in the world, right? At the bottom of the deck, we have the dragonfly. It says, be lighthearted, finding out things coming to light, adapt, change, and heal. Yeah, this connection is very healing for your person. Let's find out what's going on with karmic relationship real quick, and then we'll move on to the next question. What's going on with karmic relationship? With dragonfly being at the bottom of the deck here, your person, it may be a slow going process, but your person is learning how to adapt and to adapt to you into this connection. There's something about this connection, the way that they interact with you, that's different than the way they just naturally interact with others. Like they're having to learn how to participate in a connection with someone like you. Because I am seeing I'm seeing you, pile one, as being somebody that, you honor yourself as much as you honor them. And so you're not allowing this person unfettered access. This person, you are requiring your person to at least honor your boundaries, right? So, you're not, there's no codependency here. If there's anyone in this connection that's being codependent on anybody's energy, it might be your person being more codependent on your energy. I'm seeing you as a standalone. Like, you've either, you've always been somebody who has been very grounded in their own presence and their own energy, or you've learned how to do that, right? Now you're a standalone, and that's really attractive to a lot of people who might be feeling lost. Yeah, and I can see, like, with the 11th house, your person is seeing how not only are you that kind of an influence to them, but you're that influence to other people as well, whether you recognize it or not. They're noticing this about you, okay? Anything to add for karmic relationship before we go to the next? Do this one more time. Nothing may want to come out. Okay. I channeled the information through that wanted to come up for karmic. So we'll move on to the next question. Let's find out what they want from you in this connection. What do you want with pile 1 or with this connection? What are you wanting with pile 1? Let's get a couple more. What do you want with pile 1? They're not ready. They're not ready yet. Let me get a couple more, though. I was already tapping into that before this first card flew out. Tell me more. What do you want with oh, God. Let's get one more. I literally heard them when this came out. Can we dial it back a bit? Okay. We got plastic. I've got one more card from this deck to get out, but I need to speak on this because holy hell, you guys, not holy hell, but holy heaven, but whatever you want to call it. Look, we got plastic, right? It says surface level relationship, fake love messages, not a real love connection, coming out right next to twin flame. Okay. Polar opposites, intense soul connection, yin and yang. Yeah, your person is not ready to be the counterpart to someone like you and in this connection yet, okay? Not to say that they don't want to be, but literally what's coming through for what they want, they're like, can we dial back on that a little bit? There is something too real at this point in time when it comes to your person. It's like they're not, there's an energy here, especially with this twin flame, like your person, you've met yourself, right? Pile 1, you know who you are. You know all your skeletons, all your shadows, or at least you're in the process of really discovering that. And so, at the depth that you're able to really meet yourself and be okay with yourself and your shadows and your skeletons, you're able to hold space for someone else to that same degree. But your person, the problem with them is they're not ready to meet themselves like that yet. That's why we have, like, at the bottom of the deck, it's kind of like baby steps. Like they're almost taking this connection in baby steps. It's like, you're holding up a mirror to your person and they're like, I'm not ready to meet myself like that yet. Okay. And so they're like, can we not just, can we dial back on that a bit? Not to say that your person does not get an absolute thrill from this connection when things run like, passionately hot and intense between the two of you, but then it gets to be to where it's too real. Like your person's like, I'm not ready to meet myself like that yet. It's almost like, can we put a dam on that energy and just let me allow some of it out at a time? It's like your person is, I'm hearing them say, let me meet myself, one shadow, one skeleton at a time. That may be why, yeah, that's why they tend to distance themselves from you, pile 1, because it's like, You know, they'll come in for the warmth and the fire and the passion, and they'll feel exhilarated and excited and all that stuff. But then it's like, oh shit, now you're asking me to be real. You're asking me to be open and honest and transparent. And in order for someone to do that, you know, before they can open themselves up to other people, they got to first open themselves up to themselves. And your person is like, yes, they're doing that. But like a little bit at a time. Okay, let's get one more. What do you want? Your person wants this. They love the twin flame dynamic between the two of you. They love, there's a part of them that loves the passion and the intensity and the connection and the bond. It's unlike anything that they've ever experienced, right? And they want to maintain that. And it's like you're giving them like a whole, like a 10-course meal, and they're like, I'm only ready for like maybe one, right? Can we dial it down or dial it back a bit? Give me one more. What do you want with pile 1 in this connection? Is there nothing else you want to talk about? Let's get one more please for this. What do you want? Okay, in the reverse. Oh, okay, well, we go risk in the reverse. Your person is wanting to play it safe, okay? They are equating some kind of risk with this connection and that may be why your person has not been able and willing. They have not had the capacity to dive headlong, you know, feet first or head first into this connection. They're just not ready. Your person is seeing you as like they could get burned from this connection, but not from anything. Your person is like they could get burned in this connection, not by you like cheating or manipulating or anything like that. They could get burned by your boundaries. They could get burned by them not honoring and treating you in this connection with the reverence that it deserves. And your person is seeing it this way, and they're like, you know, your person knows there's some accountability and coming through, and some acknowledgement coming through in your person, like understanding and realizing they're not where they need to be yet in order to take like to fully seize the opportunity that's here. They realize that, right? But they're like, they could get burned by you and by this connection if they're not careful. It's like, you know, it's a beautiful fire when it's tended to. And if they were to say the wrong thing or step out of line or call you out your name or something like that, they know you're gonna fire back, right? You could do it in the most the most nicest, politest way, but that it's still a sword, right? And it's still gonna hurt and it's still gonna cut. And so your person is like, again, they want this connection, they want you, right? They definitely don't want home base to go anywhere, but they're just not in a space yet because they're in the process of fully meeting themselves. And for your person, you know, what I'm picking up on is they're meeting their skeletons and their shadows, right? And that's, I'm hearing them say it's a tall order. It's a lot for them to take in. You're helping them do that, right? And at the same time, they can't help it. You in this connection is a mirror to your person, and so they can only take it in small doses at this point in time. I do feel like, you know, the more that they do meet themselves, they get comfortable with themselves in the same way that you're getting comfortable with yourself, they'll be able to take more of this connection. Like, I mean, I'm seeing a container grow, right? I'm seeing it like the container that they have to hold space for you and for this connection is fairly small right now, but I'm seeing it kind of grow, right? Just grow little by little by little, and then they'll be able to house more of you and this connection in their life. Right now they can only take it in small doses, and then they'll have to separate, you know, and go process and integrate and stuff like that. Yeah, you and this connection, pile 1, are a very powerful mirror to your person, and it's needed, right? They may have been running away from some of the aspects of themselves that they've been needing to meet and integrate, and you're helping them do that. But it's a very tall order for someone, especially if they don't know that that's what's happening. All right, pile one, that was your reading. I hope that it resonated. If it did, do me a favor, smash the like button for me. It's a wonderful way to energetically donate to the channel. Comment below, let me know that you picked this pile. Let me know how it resonated. If you haven't become part of the family, you can do so now by hitting that subscribe button. Don't forget about the notification bell so you don't miss a reading or an announcement. And I will see you guys at your next Pick a Card Love reading. Bye, guys. What's going on, pile two? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Michelle. We are doing another Pick a Card Love reading. We are tapping in and channeling through who you are to your person. Where do you stand with them, and what do they want from you and with your guys' connection, okay? And this reading is becoming one of my more popular readings on the channel, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I actually really enjoy this reading. So anyway, you guys, just keep in mind it's a general reading. Anything that resonates, take it, run with it, do whatever you want with it. If something isn't resonating, just drop it, leave it behind for whomever it might be resonating for. I do have personal private readings available if you want me to tap exclusively into you and your person's connection. Just check the description box below. All the booking details are there. There are a lot of $25 readings available in the specific person category. And I actually just added a couple more, so go see which ones fit your needs. All right. Yeah, all right, so we're just going to get into your guys' reading. You were drawn to the lemon calcite, the lemon yellow calcite. Very cheery. There's, you know, this is one of the lighter yellow stones that I have. So you know, there could be something really light and airy and bubbly about, you know, the way that your person feels or the way they perceive you to be. We'll see. Happy. I'm hearing happy. They could see you as somebody that's very happy, or they could feel like that. Who you are to your person overall, we have, wow, we got the river. All right. We have the river, and then we have water. Oh, heavy. You guys could have a lot of water dominant energies or aspects in your chart. You could have a water, sun, moon, rising, Venus. You could have water in your north node possibly, or south node. Something about water energy here, okay? Could be dominant in your chart somehow. You know, a water sign could be your chart signature. If you don't know what a chart signature is, definitely go look it up. Water being Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, okay? Let's look at what the river has to say. What are we? The number 34 could be significant. The number 7 could be important. Okay, so this says, there is a reason so many rituals of change and rebirth take place in the river. It is forgiveness embodied in physical form. Ooh, so they can, who you are to your person, you could be somebody that's very forgiving, very accepting. Your love to your person, who you are to them, could be very, your love could be unconditional. Your acceptance could be unconditional. Your person could feel very cleansing. There's something very cleansing coming through. People, baptized, something about baptism too. Ooh, there could be something very transformative, very cleansing about this connection, who you are to your person. Let's see. This says, without asking anything in return, the river washes away what is no longer necessary, smoothing over sharp edges and accepting all of our mistakes and grievances. Yeah, I was already channeling that. It says, once we step in, we are no longer in control. The river carries us farther down the stream of transformation than we planned to go. Its waters have a special gift for reflecting back to us a new and dreamlike vision. Once the tears have passed, we see ourselves as we haven't before, with a little more lightness. Yeah, there's that lightness. With that stone, I was channeling through something very light and airy. Your person could come to, or this is who you are to them. What I'm seeing is somebody kind of pass through a certain threshold, like like they get into your physical proximity, or they just connect to your energy by way of like maybe your focus and your attention being on them. And something about your energy and your presence just kind of filters out in a way a lot of your person's own maybe like shadows, negativity, emotional baggage and stuff like that. They get into your physical proximity, or they connect to your energy, and they just automatically feel lighter, okay? More buoyant. Something very healing about that, pile 2, for who you are to your person. This goes on to say, its waters have a special gift for reflecting back to us a new and dreamlike vision. Okay, I've already talked about that. Let's see. Keep in mind, the you that stands within the river is the real you, full of deep emotion and potential, nothing to hide, nothing to judge. May you drink in the sight of your true self. Yeah, so your person feels unconditionally loved and accepted by you. Okay, there's which is very similar to some of the messages in pile 1. So if you were drawn to also watch pile 1, there also may be some elements of, you know, that with your person there as well. There's an added component here of, you know, you being very cleansing and filtering in a good way for your person. Like they come to you with like all this baggage, the weight of the world on their shoulders, and they pass through the threshold, that gate, you know, and it just, all of that falls away. All of the heaviness, the pressures of the world, it all falls away. So there is this feeling like who you are to your person, pile 2. You're someone that, whether they do this on purpose or consciously or not, they almost come to you into this connection as a way of like a reset, right? I'm seeing like the fountain of like youth and vitality here as well. With, I was seeing that in pile 1 as well, but there's an added component here of your person feeling rested and rejuvenated. But there is actually something in your energy, pile 2, and this is where it's differing from pile 1, that you know, yes, you are home base, you're somebody that your person comes to, but there's an added component of you cleansing this person, or they feel rejuvenated, they feel cleansed the instant they get into your energy and your presence, okay? You could have cracked this person's heart space wide open, or you could be kind of helping this person learn how to tap into their own inner, their heart, tapping into their heart space, you know. With river here, you can see the reflection of a horse. Oh, and what I wasn't showing you guys, what I noticed with the heart, the river here. So there's Cancer, right? There's the Cancer sign, but up here, even though I feel like that's supposed to be with the water, that reminds me of Aquarius. And so we have Cancer being highlighted here. We've got transformation that can be highlighting scorpionic energy, and then Aquarius here as well. Okay, could be coming through for some reason for those of you where that resonates. Oh, okay, because I'm seeing the horse here, which kind of lends me back to Sagittarius. So there may be some Sagittarius energy going on in here somewhere. But, you know, you are kind of operating some way, like you do reflect back to your person themselves, but what I'm seeing with you is you reflect back to your person aspects of themselves that they actually like, okay? Things about themselves that they actually love. And even maybe the parts of them that they might feel are not lovable, when they get around you, they're even able to see the parts of them that they feel are not lovable as being lovable. There really is a highlighted element here of you being, this is how they feel, right? This is who you are to them. Home base of someone who is unconditionally loving, unconditionally accepting, and you love even maybe what they feel are the unlovable parts of themselves, okay? Very beautiful, beautiful energy here. Let's find out where you stand with them. Where does pile 2 currently stand with you, pile 2's person? Where does pile 2 currently stand with their person? Where does pile 2 currently stand with their person? Make sure they're all in the upright. Yeah. Where does pile 2? They may feel like they're kind of a mess, maybe not quite organized. But I'm hearing like when they get into your presence, though, it's like all of that feels righted, right? Everything, like they go out into the world and they feel like everything is wrong. And then the minute they get into like your presence, right, everything feels right again. Who is pile 2 to their person? Or, sorry, where does pile 2 stand with their person? Let me put that back. Where does pile 2 stand with their person? I'm hearing your person say we're still working that out, okay? Like where you stand with them, your person is saying they're still working that out. They may not be quite sure where you stand with them yet, meaning they may not quite know what role to put you in their life, okay? How you're gonna factor into their life long term. Let's find out. Where does pile 2 stand with their person? Ooh, okay. Yeah. I understand it with everything that's coming out here. So we have sunglasses, we have hammer, paradise, okay? And then we have lightning. And then we have clock at the bottom of the deck. And the clock says need time, takes time, end time, cycles, time to heal and progress. Yeah. Your person is still trying to figure out where to put you in terms of like in their life. Sunglasses is watching, looking, stalking, gaslighting, perception, focusing out. And so your person could be watching your social media. This could also just them being trying to figure out like where you stand in their life, right? Hammer says sabotage, rebuilding, interrogation, repetitive, persistent, working on it. Paradise says happiness, joy, expansion, playfulness, oneness, enjoying each other. And then we have lightning, says sudden change, shocking news, surprise, epiphany, upheaval, and transformation. There's more of that Scorpio energy coming out. Let me find out. Let's see. Let me look at hammer real quick. Actually, I'm gonna let me look at sunglasses. Tell me more about sunglasses. Clarify sunglasses, please. Okay. Tell me about lightning. The reason why your person isn't quite knowing exactly where to put you in their life right now, or it's still kind of up in the air in terms of like who you or where you stand with them, is because of who they are currently, right? Tell me more about lightning. Clarify lightning. Okay. Yeah, it's still up in the air for where you stand with your person. They don't quite know yet. They're in the process of trying to figure that out. The reason why that is because who you are versus who they are two, y'all are on two different like playing fields, okay? Two completely different playing fields. With hammer being clarified here by the Knight of Wands and Judgment, and then lightning is being clarified by the King of Wands. I feel like the King of Wands is who they're needing to be in order to somewhat match your energy, okay? Right now, they're kind of in a reckoning period and they're in Knight of Wands energy, but they could be in the process of evolving, okay? And so you make them very happy. This connection makes them really happy. What might be getting in the way is your person still being in night, okay, night energy, when they're needing and wanting to be in king energy. if they can evolve, and with Judgment being here, coming out with the Knight of Wands, is, again, there's a reckoning happening. That's more of that scorpionic energy coming through. Your person, this connection could have and could be triggering, and it could be the catalyst for your person to evolve as a person. And that energy is here, okay? We got lightning here and Judgment. All right, and hammer. So yeah, there's some energy here of your person like slowly but surely kind of building themselves as a person, as an energy, as a spirit, as a as a you get it. All right, they're working on it. We'll figure out what it is they're wanting from you and from this connection. With the King of Wands, clarifying lightning, though, this is almost like, and especially with Judgment, they weren't quite ready. But that's usually how it happens. They weren't quite ready for the calling when they met you. So if there was a lot of hiccups and maybe some bumps along the way, or, things kind of like, yeah, that's what it is. Because, you could have met this person when they were either in page and or night energy. They're in night energy right now. And, especially if you're someone that's in Empress energy or you're in Queen energy compared to this person, it's like, that's why there's been some hiccups along the way. Because, they're kind of stumbling. They may have even fumbled this connection in many different ways or avenues. But, that's par for the course, right? There is something very, I keep hearing something about baptism, baptizing. Which I know is something that people do to kind of signify, in the whole point of baptism, like kind of showing your surrender to something larger, or something larger than yourself. That kind of feels like what might be going on here. Baptism. It's interesting that it's coming through that way. Doesn't that also signify like washing away of sins or something like that? And that goes along with, me seeing like, them being baptized in your energy, and they just kind of feel like once they do that, they feel lighter. They don't feel as burdened mentally and emotionally and energetically and spiritually. But there is kind of a cautionary thing that's coming up, like your person is needing to know how to do that themselves, though, right? And there's nothing wrong with, connection, as long as they don't get overly dependent or codependent on that. You see what I'm saying? It's beautiful energy. As long as you guys know that there is some kind of self-care that you should be doing. Because if this person is coming and kind of dumping, their baggage and their energy and stuff, and that can be part of your guys' pile too, that can be part of your healing and your calling, is to be able to do that. But there's nothing wrong with that, right? That's part of your gifting for many of you. But just be aware that that's what's happening. This person is unloading their burdens and their energetic heaviness, like, if they're coming to you and they're covered in sludge and gunk and mud and stuff, you're taking that on, right? And so make sure that you are partaking in some kind of ritualistic self-care that helps to, filter out and process that out of your own system, so that you're not holding on to it, okay? Keep that in mind, you guys. All right, so let's find out now. What do they want? What do they want with you? What do you want with pile 2 in this connection? What do you want? What does pile 2's person want with pile 2 in the connection? What does pile 2's person want with pile 2 in the connection? They could want forgiveness, or just continued access to that, right? Continued access to feeling unconditionally loved, unconditionally accepted. If there is something that they have done to maybe hurt you recently, they want to extend. They could want to confess something, but also they could want to apologize for something, okay? With going in circles showing up here, this is your person saying they're definitely not wanting, they want continued access to you, okay? It's not coming through in the best energies. Again, your person is still kind of in night energy. They're still in the process of evolving. And so again, just keep in mind, there isn't I'm not picking up on it that there's anything necessarily inherently wrong with that. I mean, that is part of your gifting and your calling, is to be able to help relieve other people of their mental and emotional burdens, especially if they haven't yet picked up on how to do that themselves. You know, there's something very, that's very humanitarian, right? That's very humanitarian, whether it's something you intentionally signed up for or not. That's just part of your gifting. And I'm not picking up necessarily yet on your person maybe abusing that. But what they're wanting from you and from the connection, they still want access to that, okay? Let me get one more. What do you want? Oh, we have rebuild. We got that twice. Okay, let me get one more, because there is a message coming through. Give me one more. What do you want with pile 2? What does pile 2's person want with pile 2 in the connection? Yeah, so they're wanting to make, if there was something that they've done wrong, or if there was some kind of an injustice that they did against you or against this connection, they want to right that wrong. They want to restore something between the two of you, rebuild something between the two of you. And there is a message coming through pile 2. They want to be for you what you have been for them. They want to match your energy. They want to reciprocate. Okay. They're working on that. Let me get one more. What do you want with pile 2? Ooh, oh my gosh. Oh, okay. There's a couple of things coming through with that. Bottom of the deck, we have trapped. They don't want this connection to escape them. They don't want to lose this connection. They don't want to lose access to you. If they had it their way, pile 2, they would almost bar off access to anybody else. That your person is, this almost feels like your person acknowledging they're not quite where they need to be, in terms of like where they're at in their evolution as an energy and as a person, and they want the ability to be able to go through that evolution, knowing that when they have completed their evolution and they're in king energy or even emperor energy, that you're going to be there to return to as that emperor. Okay. For some of you, what your person could want, they could want to have children with you. They could want to introduce you to their kids if they have them, or they could want to be introduced to your kids if you have them, okay? The fact that children came out, though, with healing, this can talk about inner child healing. They could want to maybe, whether this is spoken or not, this is coming through energetically. Your person could want the healing of maybe some inner child wounds through their connection with you. This even says moving forward. They could want to move. So what they want with you in this connection is to move forward in this connection with you. Meaning, taking it out of whatever phase it may feel like it's been stuck in or trapped in, and moving it forward to the next phase. That's kind of like what they want, to happen. But I mean, there is an energy coming through with your person understanding and realizing where they're at now as, in their evolution, they're not able to do that. Okay. Let's look at going in circles and apology. Tell me about going in circles. Yeah, they don't. This is what, yeah, what they want is they don't, okay, so what they are not wanting, they don't want to be exiled from you, okay? They don't want you, they don't want, they don't want restricted access to you and or your energy. They don't, okay? They want you to be there for them when things out in the real world start to get too real, too cold, too chaotic, too whatever, okay? They don't want to be, they don't want to feel abandoned by you. Your person may have some abandonment issues that could be stemming back in their childhood, that what they're wanting is for those abandonment issues by way of this connection and your energy to be healed. Okay, what they want, they may want you to continue doing what you've been doing, which is, you know, whether they realize that what this is doing or not, through consistency, right? Their nervous system will be able to heal. The thing is, though, is especially, you know, in the evolution that's happening, and I do see like a clear path. You know, it may not be perfect and it may not be perfectly linear, but I do see the channel being clear. Like, your person is evolving. It may be going by slow, okay? They are evolving, though, as a person. And so eventually, like, what they're wanting is to eventually be able to match and mirror your energy and to be an equal part in this connection with you, okay? You know, it's not necessarily coming through like what role they're wanting to have in your life, if they're wanting to be your divine partner, your husband or wife or spouse, or whatever the case may be. But there is an energy here of your person still wants to be a part of your life, and the part in your life that they're wanting to have, they want it to be substantial, not only to them but to you as well. This could just be your person saying, like, you know, your energy to them is so healing and so important and so impactful that, you know, they'll be happy to take whatever role in your life that you want to give them. Does that include marriage? Let me look. Does that include marriage or long-term commitment? Yes, it does. Okay. Yeah, your person is saying, and I love how this came out as the Queen of Wands in the upright position, because we've seen what your person is, what they're aspiring towards, right? They're aspiring to become and embody the King of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles' rightful spouse is the Queen of, not the, oh wow, that was channeled. Yeah, the King of Pentacles, okay? The King of Pentacles is somebody that does commit long term. Okay, so yes, your person is saying if you would have them as your spouse, they would happily take that role, okay? But your person is saying too, like, because your person is realizing there's some time here that's needing to pass. Again, we got clock here showing up at the back of the deck. Your person is understanding the process that they are undergoing is going to take some time, and they're not expecting you, especially if they see you as a Queen of Wands energy, somebody is very attractive, outgoing, charismatic, turns heads, has options, all that stuff. They're not necessarily expecting you to put yourself on a shelf and wait for them. Now, they would love for you to do that, right? We've already picked up on that energy earlier on in this reading. And they're understanding that you wouldn't if you're not wanting to, right? But they're saying, like, they would love to be able to be your counterpart, to be your spouse, if you would have them that way. And if not, they're like, they would understand, right, if you didn't, if that's not the role that they end up taking. But they're like, I still want to be a part of your life pile too. That's how important and impactful you are to your person. You're definitely not anybody that's disposable to them. And this is definitely not just a casual connection. There's a lot of energy here. There's a lot of emotion here with all of this water energy coming through. There's even a lot of love and care and compassion that's here. You know, and your person is like understanding and realizing they have a lot of healing that they're needing to go through. You know, and you know what they want, and yeah, they want to apologize for maybe some of the ways that they've messed up. They want to right some wrongs. If they have, you know, done some things to hurt your feelings or to break your heart, they want to mend that. And at the same time, your person is like understanding and realizing, you know, they got to get right with themselves first. They have to learn how to fill their own cup so they're not constantly just coming to you and taking and taking and taking and not ever giving anything back. All right, pile 2, that was your reading. Thank you so much for hanging out with me again today. If this resonated, do me a favor, take a moment. If you would, smash the like button for me. It's a wonderful way to energetically donate to the channel. Comment below. Let me know that you picked this pile. Let me know how it resonated. You can become part of the family if you haven't already by hitting the subscribe button. Don't forget about the notification bell so you don't miss a reading or an announcement. And pile 2, I will see you guys at your next Pick a Card Love reading. Bye, guys. Hi, pile 3. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Michelle. We are doing another Pick a Card Love reading. We are tapping in and channeling who you are to your person, where you stand with them, and what they want with you and from your guys' connection. Okay, this is becoming one of my more popular readings on the channel, which is awesome because I actually really enjoy this particular reading. So tap in, you guys, buckle up, tap in, let's get this going. Just keep in mind, you guys, it's a general reading. Whatever resonates, take it, run with it, claim it, do whatever you want with it, right? If something isn't quite landing, just drop it, leave it behind for the people that it resonates for, okay? I do have personal readings available if you want me to tap exclusively into you and your person's connection. Just check the description box below. All the booking details are there. I have a lot of readings available in the specific person category. Many of them are just $25, and I've actually added some more $25 readings, okay? So go check them out, see which one fits your needs. Let's see, pile 3, let's get into your reading. You guys were drawn to the Seafoam green calcite, and we are going to find out who you are to your person right now. Okay, we have the Hunter showing up in the reverse. The number 9 could be significant here. There could be a question of whether or not to wrap things up with this connection. We'll see. I got to check the book on that, okay? Who you are to your person, though, you may not at this point in time be a connection that they are currently actively pursuing. They may not be pursuing this connection right now. They could be taking a break from this connection, looking to, for the purposes of gaining clarity about what they're wanting to do with this connection, the next move, if any. We're going to get into it, okay? We got the Hunter in the reverse, and then we have air energy coming through. So, Sagittarius energy coming through with the Hunter. Air energy is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Yeah, it feels like your person is trying to get clear about something when it comes to this connection. Let me check the book. The number 9. The number 9. There we go. The Hunter. Oh yeah, Sagittarius energy. Look at all those arrows. All right, let's see. The Seeker, the Pursuer, the Predator. It says the Hunter hunts. Ooh, with this being in the reverse, your person might be questioning your motives. Like, why, maybe they felt like they were pursued by you or hunted by you. Well, we're going to find out. Okay, this is the Hunter hunts. They are on a precise mission with an aim. To return home empty-handed would be to fail, which is not an option in the Hunter's eye. This archetype will journey far and wide, seeking the prize that calls to its heart or stomach. Tales of bravery and feats of strength often result, creating a life full of adventure. The Hunter is skillful, quick, decisive, and results-oriented. Like the great hunting goddess Artemis, who carries her quiver upon her back, the Hunter typically has a weapon of choice when this card appears. It is critical that you ask 3 questions. What am I hunting? Why am I hunting it? And is the weapon I hold so tightly in my grip truly needed for the task at hand? And so it's in the reverse. So in the reversal, it talks about irresponsibility, violations, violent poaching. Okay, so we'll see how this is factoring in. Your person, for whatever reason, might be questioning your motives with them in this connection. Okay, let's find out where you currently, where does pile 3 stand with their person? Show me where pile 3 stands with their person. Ooh, lightning. This is sudden change, shocking news, surprise, epiphany, upheaval, transformation. That might be why we're going to delve into these. Where does pile 3 stand with their person? Soulmates. Where does pile 3 stand with their person? So your person is feeling a soul connection and a soul bond with you, okay? That might be scaring your person for some reason because they're not actively pursuing this connection, or they could be seeing you as not pursuing this connection with them, right? They could, you put this how this fits, okay? And then we got kisses. At the bottom of the deck, we have Hand of Cards. Take a chance, risk, being strategic. Yeah, there's a lot of energy here of your person possibly questioning your motive, okay? I didn't do this for the other 2 piles, but I feel the need to do it here. Let me find their energy towards you in this connection real quick. Pile 3's person's true energy towards pile 3 in the connection. Yeah. Yep. Boom. I don't even need to do any more after that. Listen, okay. Yeah, your person is not trusting for some reason. We got lost our spark at the bottom of the deck, but this feels like fear. This feels like a fear of your person's, okay? And yeah, I mean, you know, the momentum in this connection could have dwindled down, right? Yeah. Your person is... very much, for whatever reason, resisting this connection. They are not actively hunting this connection because, or pursuing this connection, or pursuing something with you because they're not trusting it. And it may not have anything to do with anything that you're doing or not doing. This could just be your person having trust issues, okay? And this could be why we have falling in love. Your person could be... And that could be the epiphany. That might be what they realize, because I am picking up on somebody kind of like putting the brakes on things. So your person could feel like who you are to them. You're someone that they have to, like, I'm hearing vet. They feel like they need to vet you. More and more, this is feeling like someone, like if they're not pursuing you or this connection, it's because they're moving with caution. Like they have to be very, this is your person feeling like they have to be very careful with you and with this connection. But this feels like it's coming from a space of fear. Let's find out what's going on with lightning. I'm hearing that your person feels like maybe you're someone that they have to hide themselves from, or feel it. Yeah, your person may have a fear of opening up, a fear of really letting people in. They may have overall trust issues with just people in general. Okay, tell me about lightning. The devil in the reverse. I can't show that on camera. Tell me more about the devil in the reverse. I just also saw, okay, I also just saw, and I am going to clarify this though, the Queen of Wands in the reverse. So what may have hit your person out of left field is that, you know, the bond between you guys is way more than skin deep. The bond itself and the connection itself has the potential to result in something real, real and tangible. And your person, for whatever reason, that may not be what they intended with this connection. They may have only wanted it to be something, just something physical, something sexual, not something necessarily romantic, right? Because romance is like affection and it's really getting to know each other, but it feels like that's the direction it's going in. Your person is not trusting it. Your person is only trusting it if it's only skin deep, if the connection itself is only something that's born out of lust. But what your person feels, what feels like is happening with your person with this lightning here, it feels more like an epiphany. Your person understanding and realizing, oh, there's way more to this connection, and there's way more, to pile 3 than, yes, then meets the eye, but also there's more to this connection than what your person, it's like what they intended for this connection to be and what it actually is and may even still be becoming is far more out. It's almost like it's not what your person signed up for, but there's almost like there's an attachment here that's already forming where your person's concerned, and they're not liking it. Okay, they don't like attachments. Yeah, especially with air energy. Your person is trying to detach from this connection because they are falling in love. They are feeling a soulmate connection with you, right? Which is like that. Your person is like, that's not what I want. I don't want soulmate connection. I don't want to fall in love. I don't want that. And so they put the brakes. I'm seeing the Chariot in the reverse. I'm seeing them put the brakes on this connection, and they're not actively pursuing this connection. In fact, it feels like they're running away, right? Feels like they're running away, trying to deactivate, trying to detach from this connection. But yeah, I just saw Temperance. More Sagittarius energy. Devil, that was Capricorn energy. Tell me more about lightning. Anything to add for lightning? Nothing to add? That's it? I heard yeah. Okay. Tell me more about kisses. Kisses says unconditionally loving, giving and receiving affection. Yeah, that's where romance entered the chat, okay? Your person was fine with like physical and sexual attraction and physical and sexual connection. What they're not okay with is the romance part of it, okay? And what I mean is, yeah, your person could act romantic. They could hold hands and kiss and stuff like that, but there didn't seem to be like the actual energy coming from your person. You know what I mean? Like the actions could be there, but they weren't romantically motivated. They were sexually motivated. Well, here with kisses, unconditionally loving, giving and receiving affection and falling in love, it was like actual romance entered the chat, and your person was like, that's not what I wanted. I didn't actually, like, your person had no problem kissing, being sexual and physically intimate and holding hands and all of that stuff, but there was a switch where it went from being sexually motivated to now it's romantically motivated. It's being motivated by love rather than lust. And that's when they were like, no. That was the lightning. That was the epiphany. That was the shocking sudden change where your person was like, no, 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 no. They were okay with lust. They are comfortable with lust. I guess there's an element of control where your person's like they can shut lust off and on, right? To some degree. Because, yeah, I see, okay, because lust they're able to somewhat control somehow, way, shape, or form. You were able to bypass that and you actually got into their heart. And they're like, hell no to that. They don't like that, okay? But I feel like it's already too late because love already entered the chat, okay? For many of you, your person loves you. They got deeper feelings for you. For some of you, your person is actually in love with you, okay? Tell me about Hand of Cards. They're saying this is too risky. When love enters the chat, when romance enters the chat, they're like, it's too risky. There's too much risk involved as far as your person's concerned. because your person didn't have any intention of falling in love. In fact, they're coming through in the energy of saying, I refuse to fall in love and catch feelings. But it's too late for many of you. Your person already, for those of you that were drawn to pile 3, your person already caught feelings for you. They're already in love with you, falling in love with you, whatever the case may be. Anything to add for a hand of cards? Your person isn't really trying to let you know that you got them like that, okay? There's something that your person fears when it comes to allowing themselves to fall in love or be, you know, a romantic counterpart to somebody in an actual, like, loving, committed relationship, all right? Anything to add to hand of cards? If not, we're going to just move on to the next question. Nothing's coming through. Okay, we'll move on. The next question is... what do they want? What do they want? Pile 3's person. What does Pile 3's person want with Pile 3 in this connection? What does Pile 3 want with Pile 3 in this connection? We'll see what else comes out. Let me get a couple more. What does Pile 3 person want with Pile 3 in this connection? Yeah, they ain't ready. They're not ready. They're not ready for it. Okay, Pile 3. Unfortunately, your person more than likely is going to continue to run from this connection until they feel like maybe some of that on their side, they feel like maybe some of the intensity and the desire for you and for this connection is died down. They're not comfortable with it. They're not comfortable with falling in love, catching feelings, being attached to somebody. Tell me more about finality. So what we have out on the board, we've got finality. It says permanent ending, no more chances, goodbye to the old. Dry spell says sexual abstinence, no action of love, long time being single. They're not ready to turn in their single card, Pile 3, because they don't feel comfortable, you know, being in a long-term committed connection. They just don't. There's responsibilities that come with that. There's answering to other people. There's just some things about relationships and commitments in general that your person just is not, they're not about that life. They don't want to be about that life. That was never, what they're saying is that wasn't really the intention when it came, regardless of if this was spoken or not, okay? I do know that there's people out there that want to be in quote unquote, you know, committed relationships, but they're not truly committed. And really what that is just they're not comfortable being alone. Okay, so I don't know how this started with you and your person. I'm hoping for your guys' sake, both of you were able to go in understanding that this was something that maybe could only be casual, and I'm hoping your person actually, like, there was some kind of agreement there, because if not, you know, this is going to be not the best news, because what's coming through is they never intended for this connection to be anything more than just something purely physical. They never had the intention of connecting with you on a heart and soul level, and they did. They're connecting with you now on a heart and soul level, and that's not what they want. They're like, that's not what they signed up for. That's why they're running in the opposite direction. If they are doing things to sabotage this, like going to other connections, leaving you on red, not, you know what I mean? That's why they're doing that. Because they're trying to break that bond and that attachment. Tell me more about finality. Let's see. So toxic says not good for you, low vibrational and toxic relationships. See, your person's they're not even mincing words here. They're like, they're not ready to be anybody other than who they are right now. They're not ready to be a cleaner, healthier version of themselves. That devil in the reverse energy, this is wild, okay? Because what your person is saying, the devil in the reverse energy that came out, that was clarifying lightning. Your person, for whatever reason, they're like, they want to stay in that low vibrational energy. They want to stay in that devil energy. And the minute they connect with you, things getting real with you and experiencing this connection with you, all of a sudden it's like they're wanting to clean up their life, right? They're wanting to become a better version of themselves. And for some reason, your person is like, no, that's not, right? It's weird, right? Coming from someone like me, where I'm, and most people, would love to become healthier versions of themselves, but your person, for some reason, is like, no, they're perfectly fine, just being low vibrational. Believe it or not, pile 3, your person is actually happy there. Okay, that's weird. I've never really had that kind of a message come through so bluntly before, and it's a weird energy to be tapping into. Somebody that's happy staying toxic, right? Tell me about finality. Is there anything to clarify about finality for what pile 3's person wants with pile 3 in the connection? What is it? Tell me more about finality. Clarify that, please. I'm not understanding it, so I bet you're not. Yeah, they're not ready to be, the divine counterpart to anybody. They're not even wanting it. It's not even a desire. And so what they might be talking about here is like, if they can't be in this connection with you, and it's just something that stays casual for them and for you, right? They're saying, if I can't be with pile 3 and not feel the soul connection and not fall in love, like if I can't, your person is like, they want an end to the soulmate dynamic. They want an end to falling in love. They're not necessarily saying that they want to cut you and this connection off, but if they're not able to be in this connection with you and not have all these feelings and all this and experience all this love for you, they're like, I don't want it. They'll walk the other way. They don't want that. Okay. Yeah, they don't want the responsibility of that. They don't want the impact of that. They don't, for some of you, your person has already experienced what it's like to, want to consider you, to want to not hurt your feelings, to, stuff like that. And they're like, that's not what I want. I don't want to care about what someone else thinks. I don't want to have to consider somebody else's feelings. And that's just naturally what they found themselves doing. And they don't want that. Okay. Tell me about dry spell. Clarify dry spell. Tell me more about dry spell. Return to what? Okay. This is them wanting to go back to the way things were. This doesn't feel like a dry spell in terms of like abstinence. You guys could have been having a lot of sex, right? A lot of physical intimacy in some way, shape, or form. What they're saying is they want to go back to how it was before they fell in love, before they started catching feelings for you. Okay, they're not saying that they want to leave the connection. What they're saying is, I want the connection and my feelings for pile 3 to go back to what they were before I started catching feelings for pile 3. Okay, they're wanting a return to like a dry spell, but in terms of like no feelings, no attachments, no strings, none of that. Okay, tell me, is there anything to add for toxic? Yeah, I mean, if they're being honest, they want you to hang in there, regardless of what you do or don't get from them and from this connection. Your person being honest, they want you to put what you want and your needs and your desires when it comes to them in this connection on the back burner and just let them have their way with you in this connection. Okay, they're just being honest, right? Your person is, they're being honest. They're being toxic AF when it comes to you in this connection, and that's exactly how they want it to stay. Your person is not ready to evolve. They're not ready to become a better version of themselves. They're not ready to clean up their life. They don't want to. You know, there is an addiction card in, you know, in both of these decks. It hasn't come out, but I mean, if there are some bad habits that your person has, they have no interest at this point in time in cleaning those up. Just keeping it real and honest with you guys. It's just where your person's at, all right? Your person has gotten very comfortable just kind of living in a very detached, unattached space in their life, and they don't have any interest at this point in time in changing that dynamic. All right, you guys. Pile 3, that was your reading. Thank you for hanging out with me again today. If this resonated, or if you got from this reading what you came here for, do me a favor, smash the like button for me. It's a wonderful way to energetically donate to the channel. Comment below, let me know that you picked this pile. Let me know how it resonated. If you haven't become part of the family, you can do that by hitting that subscribe button. And don't forget about the notification bell so you don't miss a reading or an announcement. Pile 3, I will see you guys at your next Pick a Card Love reading. Bye, guys.